All right. Fullness. Overall fullness is the theme of today. Full belly, full of carbs, full of gas, and full of freaking hype and energy to go thrash chest. So, how will I do that? I mean, we'll just have to see, right? I'm still kind of playing it, not by ear, but going by feel, because I want to re-expose myself to, hefty weights as much as I can, but I've got no need to overdo it and, hurt myself. If I've only been, Incline Smith pressing or doing machine presses light, focusing a lot more like, just squeezing activation kind of stuff, then what are the odds? What's the over-under that if I tried to load like 3 plates and a 25 on Smith or some kind of something or other that's extra heavy, what are the odds that I'm just gonna have let's just say a situation, right? Not to put any implications or energy out in the universe to come back to me, right? So since I've been doing lighter squeezing stuff for a while, it'll take a minute to get re-exposed to heftier weights. Plus, I mean, you don't want to just go too crazy out of nowhere. You're asking for freaking trouble. But, yeah, so I can guarantee there will be a combination of flies, cable press, some other kind of incline press, be it machine or Incline Smith machine, and maybe 3 plates and a 25 wasn't really a good example, because, I mean, if Incline Smith feels good, then 3 plates will feel pretty normal. All I'm trying to say there is I'm going to ease back into being able to horsecock some of this shit around. Let me get some viewers over there in the lifted truck. Hopefully that correlates to your legs, man. I'm talking to you, but now he's over there. Well, either way, I'm sure they're going to hit a fucking nasty ass freaking lift. But let me get back to the chat at hand. You freaking distracted me. Well, either way, I'm gonna go nuts. Post-workout meal, I know exactly what I want. I'm talking half a pound of top round steak with half of a baguette dipped in what I hope is 100% olive oil. If you're not aware, a lot of olive oil is kind of just fucking, canola oil and shit just kind of mixed all together, and it's only a certain percentage. Like, that's kind of the scam of the century, like 60% of all olive oil on the shelves is not just straight up olive oil. Not cool. But that was the baguette, pepper flakes, salt, and it's going to be pretty nice. That'll be a solid 6:30-ish kind of dinner, because it's 4 o'clock now. I doubt that this lift is going to take more than 45 minutes, and most of them don't, at least per muscle group, with the amount of volume that I do, because it's, I'm sure I'll work up averaging about 8 sets, but the important part isn't that I did 8 working sets, right? I'm giving myself the constraint of, okay, every set that I do, I want to really push it to failure or beyond with drop sets or assisted reps or supersets or little things like that. But I really want to push it. I don't want to leave much in the tank, if at all possible, set by set by set. And in doing so, usually combining some heavier ones and some lighter squeezing ones back and forth, kind of just like a contrasting sort of style. By the time I'm around that 8 set mark, that's usually when I feel like my chest is fully fatigued, fully stimulated, at least in a way which I think is conducive with gains, and not most importantly, but pretty importantly, fully pumped. I think it gets a little misconstrued because I'll usually say, okay, I'm fully pumped, I'm done. Yeah, this is a good lift. And that might lead somebody to believe, like, oh, getting a really good pump is what causes muscle growth and like induces a good lift. Not exactly, right? I think a better explanation would be, if you had a really good lift, right, you really pushed your sets as hard as you could, you're well rested, well fed, well hydrated, and you really kill it, and you had a good lift that was stimulating and fatiguing, then it will almost always result in a gnarly ass freaking pump. You know what I'm saying? So it's not necessarily that the two are direct causal relationships, but they do go hand in hand. So odds are, if your pump is a little scrappy compared to normal, you know, look at your situation and try to find the culprit. Like, put your Sherlock hat on. Okay, well, I feel pretty good, but, well, I mean, I did only get 4 hours of sleep last night. Ooh, yeah, maybe that did it for you. Okay, you see what I'm saying? So out of the 4 pillars of your support system for your lifts, or I think 4, you know, sleep, hydration, diet, you know, fedness, and then just kind of your general mental state. Yeah, I'd say these are kind of the big 4 pillars of a good lift. If one of these is off, right, if let's say your sleep is a little scrappy, shit, man. Imagine you're sitting on a 4-legged stool and you take one leg off. You're gonna freaking flop over, right? Not cool. But yeah, so that's the plan. Warm up, get my rotator cuffs nice and active so I don't feel like I'm gonna pull anything, and then just go from there. And I really can't say it with any more accuracy exactly how the lift will look until we kind of get in there and get started. But I can tell you one thing: I am enjoying the warm weather. 66 degrees outside. Yeah, that works for me. That works out quite freaking well for me. I'm just hoping we don't have another rebound back closer to some below freezing temperatures, but it is only March, which is kind of crazy to say, but at least for, you know, sort of the well, is there let's say the Northeast, that kind of whole quadrant, the weather gets a little unpredictable during the transition phases of winter to spring. You know, sometimes you think it's gonna be nice and warm, and then we get hit with something freaking nuts in like 3 weeks. But even in a snowstorm, I'll still find a way to get some kind of pump, even if it has to be a home workout. No hating on those. But now I'm just rambling. Let's actually get this lift started. Yeah, let me get in the zone a little. Probably no assisted reps, I think. Yeah, I got you. Let's rack it.
Let's go, Sam. Easy, come on. Easy. Atta boy, come on. Keep pushing, keep pushing. Come on. You still got 3. Come on. 2. Keep going. Up. Atta boy. At least one. 1 and 2. Come on. Up. That's all you. Give me one. Come on, Sam. Up.
Pull that shit. Oh my god. Oh,
how many was that? Like 15?
Well,
I don't know, I lost count.
It's 14 and a half. That felt really good though.
It rounds up to 15. Easy, out of boy. Come on. Keep going. Keep going. Come on, breathe. Easy. Come on, Sam.
That's good. Oh, that's probably enough of that. So this is going to be a very contrasting kind of set because I started incline press, pretty heavy. Now I'm going to do a little bit slightly decline, still kind of flat because I'm like just bent over, flies, but still heavy. Like I'm not going to have a big hold of the squeeze, at least not for this set. So this will kind of just be a straight up nasty one, in a good way.
Okay. Oh, let's do this one a little lighter with a 1 second squeeze. Whoop. Oh yeah. Okay. Oh. All right. Different movement, but same machine. Let's do a bent over cable press. I'm gonna go a little heavier, and this will be a very controlled set as well, at least in the beginning. Now, as I get more fatigued, I don't mind getting maybe a little nasty, but for the first portion, shoulders back, squeeze, stretch. Trying to improve my form, slowly but surely. Okay, I can go a little heavier than that. There we go. Okay. The stack is too heavy, so let's do 200 out of the 230 or the 290 available, and really just squeeze the SHIT out of these two things. Oh my God, okay. Let's pose down. Holy crap. Okay. I would be lying to you if I told you that I felt like anything other than a full-on nasty beast right now after that lift. And not just because, well, one factor alone did not contribute to that sort of feeling, but just the overall, just fucking everything, you know? I mean, I end up resting a bit longer between sets because the sets that I do are a bit more damaging because I got more carbs and glycogen at my disposal, so I can move more weights around. It takes a little longer to actually, recover on a set-by-set basis. But I am totally cool with that because it just means I get to kind of enjoy being in the space a little longer, and I can be kind of like more present, Like when I'm dieting, I feel like I'm so focused on like, okay, let's get another good set in. I don't know, just something about it. Plus being just totally freaking carved up and pumped. I mean, this is cool. So having a chest pump is essentially the pinnacle, or at least for me, of being a total freaking meatball. Because I feel like my entire torso just gets a damn size boost. I mean, even right now, everything keeps relating to freaking Hunter x Hunter. I feel like Moral, right? He's testing going. This is sweet for me. Damn. I really wish I could use the freakier lighting room, but this sort of side lighting will just have to do. But it is doing quite nicely. Oh, jeez. I could sit here forever. But what I mean by that, in terms of how this is kind of my most freakish looking pump, is obviously my chest is pumped. Awesome. Biceps, minor pump, because every time I do a fly, right, I'm holding the tension of the cable with my biceps, so they get a little activation. All pressing, unless you're a damn mind-muscle connection like master, I end up getting a little triceps, and just the nature of stabilizing all these pressing movements, my shoulders come into play. So it's like everything on the front end, torso-wise, just gets a little extra freaking blood. But, oh geez. I'm just saying the same shit and repeat. Let's get in the car. But if you didn't notice, I'm a freaking happy camper right now. I'm just feeling good right now. I am just feeling rather freaking good right now. Which is no surprise, right? When you go from, 100 something grams of carbs to 300, shit, man, that's a big difference. That is a mighty fine, big old difference. So, feeling good, feeling strong, feeling carbed up. Yeah, that's how these lifts should be. Oh yeah. So, how do I want these lifts to progress over the course of this bulking phase? Right, I am going to be larger. I am going to have more muscle on my frame, and as such, I'm probably going to expect to be lifting some heavier weights. I'm not going to go overboard. I'm not going to go too crazy. I'm still not I've never been a power lifter, right? But there is, of course, value to progressive overload, and not even that, but just the nature of, really pushing yourself gym-wise. You're just going to get stronger, and it's not even shit, man. Like, if you're really pushing it, it's not even up to you. And what I mean by that is, like, let's say you took a guy, or not even take a guy, let's just go back in time to me when I started working out, which was really kind of a dip my toes in sort of approach, because my starting working out routine was first going down to the basement, grabbing a pair of 30-pound dumbbells, which my dad had before, which, shit, man, that was probably the seed that got planted and grown into everything we're kind of looking at now, just having those around. But grabbing the 30s from the basement, putting them next to my desk, and then just every so often, if I'm at home playing freaking Fortnite, had just dropped at the time, so it was maybe not just dropped, but it was like season 1. I'm talking early, back when actually getting a dub was like, if you posted on your story, that was actually kind of impressive a little bit. But either way, 16-year-old Sam, curling the 30s. I had a mirror, so I'm wearing a tank top. I don't know how big my arms were. They couldn't have been more than definitely not more than 16, I can guarantee that. Probably closer to maybe the 14 or 15 inch kind of range. But had the 30s, we just curl them every so often, like basically just daily. Like, there was no routine of like, okay, I'm gonna do 10 sets of curls today and then wait a few days and do 10. No, it was just do some sets of curls. I probably wasn't even taking it to total failure either. I was just kind of pumping them out like what a guy looks like when they lift weights in movies. Oh shit, yeah, I'm talking Wolf of Wall Street. That guy, the one guy's just doing curls. Like, that was kind of the intensity, right? But I did that for long enough where, all right, let's grab the 35s. Let's grab the 40s. Actually, I don't think I was up to 40 yet. I was probably, maybe I started with the 25s and I worked up to 35s. But either way, simply by going through the process of doing some sets, I got bigger and stronger to the point where, like, hey, let's grab some heavier dumbbells. So I'm not going to push it too hard, of course, right? I don't need to come into next chest day and say, all right, I did 3 plates last time, let's do 4 this time, right? That's a little too crazy. I think we can all agree on that. But as I get bigger and stronger, a regular working set's weight will increase, So I'm sure we're going to gradually break into new territory of both weight
and more importantly, weights for reps. You know, because let's be real, right? What's cooler? How much you can squat for 1, or how much you can squat for 10? How much you can bench for 1, or how much you can bench for 10? You know, that's what I'm a little more concerned with, of course, just, you know, based on the bodybuilding style of training anyway. But I think the 10 rep PR needs more love. It makes more sense, and it takes more into account. You know, it's not just like a form game of, you know, having a crazy arch in your back like some of the guys with bench, or like even with some singles for squats, sometimes I see guys like really bounce out of the hole. I mean, don't even get me started on talking about like PRs with really tight wraps and like supports and everything else. I mean, slingshots are out of the freaking question, you know. But a 10 rep PR, like 10 normal reps, I think that is a much more accurate representation of somebody's, let's just say, level of advancement lifting wise in at least a regular lifter approach, right? And when I say lifter, I really kind of mean bodybuilder, you know, because what are we trying to do? Get bigger and stronger. Now the bigger part comes first, but the stronger part is not it's not too far off either. But there is a limit to the correlation of size and strength, right? Because if they were directly correlated, then all the top powerlifters in the world would be the top bodybuilders in the world, or at least be like the biggest freaks, because they'd have the biggest muscle, you know. So it's not always a 1-to-1. So I don't think there will ever be a point where 4 plates will just be my regular baseline set, right? Like right now, 3 plates for incline is kind of my bread and butter. I even dieted down, not like dieted all the way down, but even when I'm kind of in a leaner state, I can still smack 3 around for some good working sets. I don't think there's really much need to extend that too high up. I mean, it's kind of a lot of, even that's a ton of force on my whole system of, you know, rotator cuff and shoulder and wrists. Like there is a kind of a point of diminishing returns when it comes to those weights, you know. But for a good heavy set, I still think pushing it to as much as you can do is a good idea. Whoa. That kid was like scootering down his driveway. I thought he was going to get in the road. So, you know, of course, pick your weights with a reasonable amount of caution and historical education. You know, if you've never done this weight before, and then, you know, today you might feel a little bit off, but your boys are with you and they're all getting hyped and they all just hit a PR, so now they want you to just be careful. Just be careful, you know, because a little bit of, you know, uncomfortability, even just like for yourself, and being able to say like, okay, I really shouldn't do this right now, is a bad idea. That is a much better situation to deal with than having to say, oh, crap, you know, and you tweak something. That is the worst. Or having a crunchy rep. I mean, oh my goodness, I couldn't even count how many times I've had like, you know, phases where I had to relax from my heavy regular bench pressing, or even just heavy pressing at all for chest, because I did a rep kind of, well, definitely poorly, like elbows way too flared out up here instead of kind of a little bit more tucked. And then having like a period of 3 months where my shoulder was crunchy for a while because I totally like tweaked something or popped something or whatever. And well, you know, you don't need me to tell you that it's not a good idea to hurt yourself. It's kind of obvious. But yeah, that's one thing which I'm maybe not proud of per se, but definitely like happy that I've gotten the gist of, is improving my well, so let's just say reducing my likelihood of injury, you know, because every time I tweak something or pull something, you're taking multiple steps back gains wise. And not only that, being hurt sucks. You know, you got to be careful about how you move. If you hurt yourself too bad, you got to be careful about how you get up out of bed. I mean, oh, not cool. All right, so I guess that's kind of an obvious rule, but maybe one that's worth referencing one more time is safety first, you know. But I'm sure we're going to get some heavier dumbbells going around soonish. I don't have any cash. That was a Girl Scout cookie stand. And I'd be lying to you if I was, you know, too strict on my diet not to slam some Samoas. I'm not turning around. let's just keep going. So plan for tomorrow with back, same as the last back day, maybe slightly heavier, maybe slightly nastier, but really just a thrashed rear. I guess you could say upper rear. You know, I don't have a glute day scheduled, but yeah, good lift. I feel like I'm approaching tuckered out. It's only 6. Am I going to go to bed before 9? Is that possible for me? It would be ideal, but I've got a little bit of a bad habit of, like, if I get an itch to watch something, like show-wise or whatever, sometimes I end up staying up a little too late. I'm trying to find somewhere to watch Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust, the 2000 adaptation, but I can't find it because it's not on Prime. I think I might just have to buy the freaking Blu-ray and order it, like the physical edition. If you know anywhere or any kind of websites or links which may or may not contain the full version of that movie, I wouldn't mind if that were commented. But either way, I got a big meal to eat and more than likely a post-workout nap to take. So I will see you tomorrow for what I hope to be, if not the widest, at least as wide of a back pump as I can manage, which I think I am setting myself up well to attempt. So that's all I got. I will see you tomorrow. Morning weight, again, the scale read 251.4. Right, so I'm still kind of easing into it, but only a 1-day pattern of weight change doesn't really mean much, you know, because day by day, I mean, my weight can go up, down, you know, not sideways or forward, but up and down. I gotta wait for like a week or 2 weeks to kind of develop a trend. But I'm keeping my calories at around 3,000 to start, but I'm sure I'm gonna up that probably maybe in like a week and a half or so from now. And all these daily weight checks will be tracked. And at the end of it, I'm gonna have a big ass kind of graph, which hopefully will look just like this, right, to the freaking moon. But yeah, now I'm just rambling. I'll see you for back tomorrow.